All right, we're live. So everything's live time, so I can see the chat and see who's in here. But it's 7 o'clock, so we'll get started. Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome, everyone. My name is Simon Lee, and I'm the artistic director for Resonance Treble Ensemble. And we're so excited to finally share with you all Awaken, our debut album. But before I go too much further into that, I'd like to briefly mention just a few things. First off, if you like what you hear on this live stream, you can purchase our digital album on Bandcamp. The link is in the description below, and Dana will be moderating the chat as well as I, and so we may pop in there and occasionally update that there. For $5.99, you can purchase our album, Awaken, which features 2 extra songs not included in the program this evening. We had to do something to entice you to purchase our music. But all jokes aside, your monetary support will help us to continue to do what we love and to make music. If you're in the giving spirit of the holidays, you can donate directly to our group using the GoFundMe link, also in the description below. Your contributions would go directly to purchasing audio recording equipment for our artists, paying to hire instrumentalists, and other guest artists, such as the ones seen in Lake Isle later on in the program. And once safe to do so, it will allow us to hold a resonance retreat for us to rehearse, come together and rehearse, and record even higher quality projects in the future. Finally, there will be a short Q&A session at the end of the stream. So please stick around and continue to comment questions directly into the YouTube Live comment section, and we will do our best to answer. Again, a couple of us Resonance members are in the stream, so feel free to interact with us throughout this whole time. Hello, everyone. Wow, there's so many people here. This is great. Okay. So now it is my great pleasure to introduce our debut album, Awaken. This project began in late December of 2019 during the final holiday concert at DePaul University. We were a student-led group at the time, and the majority of our members were about to graduate. Fearing we would never have the chance to perform together again, we made the decision to incorporate and become a professional chamber ensemble. The theme of this album was to explore the contrasting emotions behind our decisions to launch into the real world, so to speak, the fear of growing up and change versus the excitement of a brand new adventure. We feel this is important now more than ever due to the ever-present threat of the COVID-19 pandemic and the changes that it has brought to our industry. The program tonight will begin with Stars by Eric Essenwalds. To me, this piece is hauntingly melancholic, yet beautifully pastoral. The poet, Sarah Teasdale, lived a tragically short life full of heartbreak and grief, and her poetry is reflective of such. In this piece, she juxtaposes the feeling of being completely alone at night with the feeling of being connected with the rest of the universe through meditating under glimmering stars. Essenwalds further emphasizes these contrasting themes by setting the text to 6-part treble voices and resonant wine glasses. Once again, we thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope that this program will bring a moment of respite for you during this chaotic year. And on behalf of Resonance, we hope you enjoy this live stream. Thank you.
On a Hi, I'm Nicole,
And I'm Suzette.
and we wanted to go ahead and introduce the next couple songs that we have for you. The first one is Once Upon Another Time by Sarah Bareilles and arranged by Emma Nelson. So we picked this song originally because I fell in love with this song at DePauw. I wanted to add it to my senior recital and have residents sing on my recital, and obviously COVID hit, and that never ended up happening. However, we were able to repurpose the song for Awaken and kind of take on a new meaning. We fell in love with it in a different way, and it worked out for the best. So, Hopeless has a little bit of a different story. Suzette, do you want to go ahead and tell it?
Hopeless by originally performed by the Staves and it was arranged by Emma Nelson. Um, it has a little bit of a different meaning in a sense where we had picked this song after we had gone into quarantine. So Once Upon Another Time was kind of pre-COVID quarantine, moving into Hopeless, and but kind of as they're different in that way, they both kind of focus on the growing pains of having to go into a different phase of life, and maybe not necessarily, you know, it's growth, but it's still it's painful sometimes, and kind of centering in on that hopelessness. And so we can't wait for y'all to hear it. So yeah, enjoy these next two songs then.
hopeless in the morning and helpless in the night. I'm hopeless in the morning and helpless in the night. Tell me how it ends. Tell me how it ends. Lumber on, silent and strong. Friend, won't you please tell me how it ends?
Our next piece on Awaken is The Lake Isle by Ola Yalo. The Lake Isle was originally a 12-line poem written in 1888 by William Butler Yeats. It describes the Lake of Innisfree, which was an island in Ireland, and the desire to live there and experience this peace and tranquility that lies within the simplicity amidst a very chaotic world. So this yearning for peace is a very common theme amidst the craziness of our modern world in 2020. And so recording this song has been very special to us and certainly a highlight of the album. We really hope to be able to share some of that calmness and beauty of this song with you all. So Anna, as our lovely audio editor, what were some of the things that you enjoyed the most about putting this complex song together?
Thank you, Abby. This song was such a wonder to put together. It was a lot of small moving parts and little details, a lot of different voices, a lot of layering of instruments, and yeah, it was a big learning experience for me, but it was also kind of serene in a way, as there was a lot of like little edits to make over the process of a long period of weeks. And so I learned a lot, and it was so fun to see how little changes made a big difference and came together to be something really beautiful. So I'm excited to share it with everybody.
That's beautiful, Anna, and we really hope that you enjoy The Lake Isle by Ola Yalo.
So now Em and I are going to walk you through the next three pieces, our final three pieces of the concert. First, we have December. Emma, do you want to talk to us about December?
Sure. So this one was fun because we wanted two contrasting Christmas pieces. We wanted one that was a bit more modern, maybe a bit more folky or poppy, and then we wanted an old one. So this was fun to like kind of mimic the instrumental sounds and put it into voice form, and you'll hear that it kind of starts off pretty simple and then kind of explodes into this fun, awesome 7-part harmony stuff at the end. So that was really fun to put together.
Yeah, I certainly have been very amazed with how wonderful the arrangements have been by Emma, so shout out to her. And then our other Christmas piece is Gaudete. It's very different from December. It's one of our older pieces. It's certainly the oldest piece on the album. And then also want to take this time to announce that after our concert, we'll be having a live Q&A, and so we'll be spending time talking about how we put the album together, and if you all have any questions, make sure to put them in the chat so we can tag them along into our chat. And then also, once we're in there, feel free to ask questions while you're there. And then our last piece is Parting Glass, which is actually something very special to both Em and I and the rest of the group. With that being said, we hope you all have enjoyed this concert, and here are our last three final pieces. And then, of course, make sure to join us for our live question and answer session. See you guys there.
Was a beautiful star, wishing too far to remember. Dreaming I know, falling like snow in December. It feels like a lifetime away. A star on a cold winter's day. And out beyond the clouds, imagine the view. There's someone up there thinking of you. Catch me a star, wishing too far to remember. Dreaming I know, falling like snow in December. Every day, miles away in a memory. Remember, my dear, know that you're here right beside me. Catch me a star, wishing too far to remember. Dreaming I know, falling like snow in December. Every day, miles away. Ever, my dear, you're here right beside me. There was a beautiful way up on a star-covered night.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete. Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete.
Tempus odes gratii hoc dotabamus, carmina litizi devotere damus.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete.
Deus homo factus est natura mirante, mundus renovatus est a Christo regnante.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete.
Ezequielis porta clausa prontancitur, unde lux esor salus invenitur.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete.
Ergo nostra cantio salatiam illustro, benedicat Domino salus Regi nostro.
Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete. Gaudete, Christus es natus, ex Maria Virgine gaudete.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in to our live stream. Again, links are down below if you wish to purchase any of the music you heard this evening via Bandcamp or donate via GoFundMe. Also, for further news on projects, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Resonance Treble Ensemble, or simply like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, while I'm live here, thank you to Elijah and Logan for your donations. We appreciate those very much. Again, we're fully funded by your support, so for our next projects and things like that, we rely heavily on our audience, on you guys. So thank you very much for attending this little listening party, and we're going to begin our Q&A session here momentarily.
Awesome. Is everyone here? Hi, Anna. Hi, Serena. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good. So we put it in the YouTube, or where did we put it?
Oh, so we're live right now.
I know, I always forget. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I don't know if anyone noticed me pointing multiple times at my screen, realizing I was live. Hello.
And all of this structure is now gone. Hello, everyone. Here we are. This is just us.
Yeah, no. So I'll be moderating. Hi, everyone who's watching. I'm Dana. I'm Resonance's just basically general manager. I do a little bit of everything for them. I'm going to be moderating tonight's live Q&A. Thank you all so much for showing up. We're so happy to see the response from you guys, and we really appreciate it. As a reminder, I know Simon already said it. If you look in the YouTube description box, we do have a GoFundMe page, or you can purchase our album for $6 on Bandcamp, just a reminder. But to start us off tonight, I just want us to introduce ourselves. So I already introduced myself. So Anna, why don't you just introduce yourself real quickly?
Hi guys, I'm Anna. I am generally singing alto. So if you hear low E flats, that's me. I also am one of the 2 audio editors. So I work with Emma Nelson to edit all of the songs together and make it cohesive.
Great. Awesome. And we also have Serena Jones here. Serena, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Serena Jones, and I am live. I sing soprano 1 or soprano 2. I'm also doing marketing for the group. So if you see posts here and there, it's usually from me or Nicole Axelrod. But yeah, I'm currently in Florida right now from the Sunshine State. Hello, everyone. So hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for coming. Yeah, excited.
Okay, so that's great. And then obviously Simon, you guys know Simon, he's our musical director / artist genius person. So we do have our first question in the chat. Remember, you guys, all of you can throughout this whole session post any chat questions that you guys have thought of throughout the concert listening party. Our first one's from Mr. John David Vandiver. I hope I'm saying that right. He has a question about the arrangements. He says, could you elaborate on how the women's voices were used compositionally to create vastly different textures? He wants to know about the differences between songs like Hopeless and Once Upon a Time. So maybe we could start with Serena. What are your thoughts on that?
Let me unmute myself. Yeah, so I think it definitely differed when it came to the genres. So, and Emma would be the best at answering this question, but I know her compositional process started with the melody. So working with the Hopeless melody, or going off of the Wailing Jenny's arrangement and adding maybe a bit here and there. But for remind me what piece?
It would be Hopeless. Yes. Sorry.
And Once Upon Another Time.
And Once Upon Another Time, if anyone knows the original by Sarah Bareilles, there's already a few harmonies in there. So again, those 2 pieces are actually similar in the sense that they're both more folky pop pieces, and then it's just about adding enough parts to accommodate to our 6 singers. Yeah, she will start with the melody and then just play around with what harmonies sound good. I guess a little shout out to her. She has a TikTok where she shows actually how she goes step by step through this process. If anyone's interested, it's really helpful. She has a few videos on that, so be sure to check that out. And then with other songs, again, it depends on where that particular piece is when we first work with it. Something like Gaudete, we don't touch it, you know? Something like Stars, we don't touch it. Like Once Upon Another Time, we may add a few harmonies. So yeah, it really depends on where the piece is and what we want to get out of it. And it's usually just seeing how we can adapt it to highlight our group the best. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, so that was great. Emma, so to clarify, Emma Nelson is our, one of our other singers, and she does do most of the arrangements. And she is in the chat, so if you have additional questions about the compositions, she's there to answer them. She just couldn't join us live because she's at work. She is in the chat, though, texting people. So she's actually, I think, on her way home from work. She's a scientist. She's a very smart lady. So compositionally, she can answer those kinds of questions. But then also, for you, Anna, we do have another question here. From someone familiar. You might know, I just saw it. I think it was from Caroline Jones. Wonder who that is. By the way, Caroline,
hello.
We can have everyone sign your album as soon as, COVID is all finished and done. So I did see a question here. I thought another different question no, okay. It was maybe not from Caroline. Sorry, my mistake about that. But John has another question. Just, how does your training, Anna, how does your training at DePauw, classical training as a classical singer, how does that inform the way that you sing other genres? Like he says, folk genres, maybe some pop genres, if you could just talk about that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think it's been so fundamental actually having a classical training in order to sing other genres healthily, because they all kind of use the same tools. All genres need the breath support and the relaxation and the placement and sort of a general like mind-body awareness as well. And so that training at DePauw has really been helpful in learning how to branch out and sing other genres healthfully, because it's, if you just kind of don't know what you're doing and then you run into a musical theater belt, you can actually hurt yourself because it's basically just controlled screaming. So learning other genres with a background in classical training, I think makes it easier and healthier. So we're really grateful that we got to go to DePauw.
Yes, we all graduated from DePauw. Most of you already know this, but we're all DePauw music alumni. We're all good friends, and that's why we're in this group together. But Emily Chen, shout out to Emily Chen. She actually recorded the piano parts for us in Lake Isle. She also recorded some piano for us to when we were practicing, recording and such like that. She's been a huge help to us. Emily Chen, she's a copy editor and pianist. She has her own website. If you guys are curious, you can check her out online if you need any help with copy editing or piano things. She asked, I just had it here. What was it like recording from home? What were the challenges and pleasant surprises of recording remotely? I think that's something that we can all talk about, except for me, because I obviously didn't record anything. So let's go around. We'll start with Simon, because he did actually record some stuff for us as well as a singer. And then we'll go to Serena, and we'll go to Anna.
Sure. So for me, I would say I didn't do a lot of singing in this one. I did mostly the conducting, and it took a long time to figure out that process, and we had some rather disastrous takes at the beginning. We didn't want to admit it, but they were pretty bad. Let's be real. But yeah, the lining up of the music, it took some time and it took some figuring out. I had to learn. I personally went and learned how to make a click track to keep everyone in time. I realized that people are going to take my waving my arms around in different manners, and so I can't depend on simply just that. So that was on my end, and I think for the singers it's a bit of a different experience. So I'll turn it over to Anna if you'd like to answer that question.
Sure. Yeah. It was definitely weird getting used to at first because a big part of tuning is being able to hear everyone else around you in the room. And a big part of timing is being able to see when other people are breathing and, taking cues from whoever is singing next to you. So it was really hard to get used to singing, by yourself with these little iPhone microphones right next to our faces. But we found a system that worked. Over time, we got used to what to expect and how our group operates with the technology. And so we kind of got into a rhythm, and the click tracks really helped. We figured out that there was less room to be artistic with tempo and stuff. So we had to be artistic in other ways. So tone and things like that. But yeah, I mean, over time we got used to it. I think we were able to make recordings faster, and we were able to figure out what was able to be fixed in the, after editing, and what wasn't. When did we need to do retakes? And I don't know. We got used to it. What do you think, Serena?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for me was not being able to sing with the group. I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but I would get so worked up about trying to make the take I send in absolutely perfect. And I mean, when we are able to go into a recording studio one day, we'll have that opportunity too, but it's just a little different when it's just yourself in your apartment, hoping that the neighbor's dog doesn't, bark at the top of its lungs. And I'm able to silence those out sometimes, but just, having the opportunity to find silence in the day can be very difficult. So I'm sure any musician right now who's dealing with the same problems with any kind of recording thing is also can agree with that experience. It's very frustrating, and it's also in some ways it's not as rewarding, but in other ways it's been very rewarding for other reasons. Hearing my little recording go from just my bare voice to this beautiful work that we've produced, that's really been very rewarding and a new feeling. I mean, I've never experienced something like this. I've never put together something like this before. But I definitely would say the challenge for me was finding silence in the day where my roommate wouldn't come in, or, dogs wouldn't be barking, a garbage truck, et cetera, life, But yeah, but the end result has been very rewarding. So happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, those are some really great responses. I obviously, I'm also a musician. I don't sing, obviously. No, I'm a violinist, but I have some experience recording from home. And I mean, yeah, the biggest thing is when you're at home with your family, right? It's just because everyone's working from home these days. My dad tutors upstairs, but I can hear him. I'm in the basement with him, and I can still hear him from where I am talking to his students. And my dog, obviously, I also have a dog. If he hears any kind of suspicious noise, like maybe if I hit, a note wrong when I'm playing my violin, he's going to start barking. So recording from home, very, very difficult to get used to because we're all trained to, perform live and perform around other people. But it's been very fun to figure it out. And I have to say, everyone on our team has been so amazing about just getting used to learning new skills. I just want to shout out to people because I just saw 2 questions here, one from Jesse Fromm and one from Guitar Player Graves. Questions about editing. So Jesse says, what exactly was the process of editing like, considering you guys sang asynchronously? I know lots of people have tried a lot of different things, but what route did we go? And then obviously Guitar Player Graves, he says something kind of similar. How did we edit the separate recordings into cohesive works, and any particular DAWs or software? So I'll kind of start that off because I had a little bit of hand in this. Well, I didn't really have a huge ton of hand with the audio editing, but I will say all of our members have a little separate job they do besides singing for us. And so I really appreciate how hardworking you guys all are. Anna and Emma did such a great job of either arranging or editing all the audio software. Serena has done a ton of marketing and PR. And so has Nicole Axelrod. She's our social media director, and she works a full-time job and still makes time for this. And so it's insane. Serena's still in school. Anna has a job. One of our other singers, Abby Brodnick, she still makes time for this, even though she's a full-time student. Everyone does a little bit of something. For me, I do a little bit of video editing, and I use Movavi because it was a little bit of one of the cheaper options, since we're just starting out, but it got what we needed done. So the concert video that we just live streamed, I edited completely on Movavi editor. And the little bits of people talking in between songs was recorded Zoom calls. So Zoom and Movavi, you guys, if you want to get started somewhere, get Zoom. Everyone's on Zoom now. Anna and Simon, can you guys talk about the software that you guys used for the audio editing process and what it was like to line up everything, especially Lake IO, because that was a big one.
So we had a little assembly line for the audio editing. First, it would go to Emma Nelson, and she would use Audacity to make sure the timing was right. Like if there were obvious different cutoffs, like multiple S's in a row, which happened whenever there was a word that ended with an S, everyone would always be like, then we'd, line it up on Audacity, and then she would send those tracks to me, and I would take it and put them in GarageBand and work on trying to make it sound like adjusting little dials and stuff to see if I could make it sound like we were all in the same room. This also, in GarageBand, we would work with, or I would do stuff with adjusting volume and kind of moving things around to try and mimic essentially what we could be able to do if we were all together in person. So it's basically, just adjusting things on the, how do I explain this without showing it? Adjusting things on little dials that make it sound like we're all, have the same amount of echoing or the same amount of, volume, the same amount, everything, trying to unify. But yeah, GarageBand was used for that part, and then the Audacity was used for lining everything up.
Yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot to do with the actual audio editing of the songs. The only thing I ended up doing was making little conducting videos, and all I had to do was go into, I think I don't remember what program I used actually. It was free, it had a watermark, it's terrible, don't use it. But basically I just went in there and slapped the video of me waving my arms on top of a click track, and then on top of a MIDI file with all the voice parts in it, and that way our singers could still tune and get the timing relatively correct and still watch my gestures for expressive cues to the best of their abilities.
So to sum it all up, hopefully that answered you guys' questions, Jesse and Graves. Essentially, Simon would start the process. He also made the artistic notes on our sheet music. Tell people what to do, tell people to take a look at it before we start recording, and then he records his conducting videos that everyone records too. So that's how we got everything to line up, and that's how everyone recorded separately at different times, but it could all still line up and the tuning could still be correct. It's because Simon did all of that work because he's a fantastic dude. And then at the end, Anna had the wonderful headache of putting Lake Isle together, which involved five instruments. 5 instruments, and then
5 instruments, and then for Lake Isle, we each singer did 2 versions of our part to try and make it sound like we were a fuller choir. So there was 12 vocal lines. It was a bunch, but I think the end result was pretty cool.
I really enjoyed the end result, and that one is the one that I'm most excited to have you guys perform live one day. I'm
sorry to interrupt, but I just have to say we've crossed over the halfway point for our donation goal. So thank you everyone so much, and keep them coming. If we hit that goal, we can do some really amazing things. So thank you all so much. Continue.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We will be posting the full session today that we did today on our Facebook page. So if you guys really enjoyed tonight's live stream, please like and share, and then tell people to donate to us if they would like to, if you really enjoyed your experience. And it was a free concert basically, so if you guys feel like you want to pay us something, that'd be great. I mean, that sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean. Just like and share. We'll post this whole concert video after everything's ended. So I think we're coming up to the end here, but I mean, I think we've got, one last question, again, from our biggest fan, Mr. Vandervert. He says that he notices the Lake Isle words were less important than the tonal atmosphere. Could you guys talk about your experiences with the song? It seems to escape the meter in a wonderful way. So this is definitely a question for Anna, Serena, and Simon. Maybe Serena, because you haven't talked in a little while.
Yeah, so making sure I'm not muted. Okay, so that's a very good question, John. It's an interesting aspect to think about, because me, as just one voice part, I looked at the music. I had the vocal score and the instrumental score, but I didn't really know what it was going to sound like. So I find it funny that you point that out, because when I heard the finished version the first time, it was actually different than what I imagined, in a good way though. It's definitely more of a tonal experience than the words being very emphasized. I've known that poem for a long time. It's one of my favorite poems. I think it actually gives the piece a special feeling, in the sense that the sound washes over you quite like water. So I don't know if that was Emma's intention or our intention, but it certainly came across that way. Sorry, I have a grandfather clock in the house. But yeah, I like how it came out that way and how that contributed to the overall sound. I do wonder if we had sat down, like if we were in person and we were doing this together and we can hear it all, I wonder if Simon would have said, maybe a bit more diction, or no, even though the poem is very special and very important, that's not quite the point of that's not the point of our portrayal of it. It's supposed to be this wash of sound that just flows over you. So yeah, I think it's funny how you pointed that out, because I noticed that when I first heard the ending result. So yeah.
Anna, anything to contribute?
I think Serena really said it. That was a beautiful answer, because it does kind of feel like water rushing over you, and it creates like an atmosphere that none of us really knew what to expect when we were first doing our recordings, because we had not heard what it would all be like together. There were no rehearsals of everyone together, so it was cool to see it all like take form. And yeah, it really did. It kind of became more of a sound bath experience than necessarily a communication of words. But I kind of like it that way. I don't know. I think it created an environment.
Yeah, so actually we have a quick comment regarding Lake Isle from Emma, our arranger. She says, side note, it was originally arranged for SSAATTBB, so SATB, but double voices and everything. And she tried to keep as much of that big wide sound, but she had to format everything into an SSSAAA arrangement, which again, this is just so much a tribute to Emma's skill as an arranger of keeping that big wide sound, and without having any of those tenors and those basses, and without the same number of singers. The original recording is so lovely. It's on YouTube, of course. The composer is Ola. I don't know how to say the last name, you guys. Somebody help me. Yalo. Ola Yalo. And it's the Tenebrae choir that sings it, I believe. It's so lovely. I will be posting the full program. The full program of tonight's concert is on our Facebook page. It'll be pinned there for a while, and I'll make sure to share that on all of our platforms so you guys can look at it if you want to look up all the songs and like that. But just shout out to Emma again for keeping that beautiful build in sound and texture, and just with what she had to work with, especially trying to figure how to get that same sound when everyone's recording separately from home. So good job to everyone on that. Awesome. And she mostly copied out the parts and cut out double notes sometimes and brought stuff up and off. Well, still good job, Emma. You did a lot of work. Anyway, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of our Q&A session. Thank you to everyone for showing up. Thank you to Anna and Serena for joining us tonight in their busy lives to do this with us. Thank you for Simon for being our music director and starting this all when we were all still in college. We're so happy to be here with you guys, and we hope that we can continue bringing all of you guys some more and even better musical content in the forthcoming years. So stay tuned, like and share on our social media platforms. We're on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter and TikTok.
Wait, before we go, we have crossed our donation goal of $500. So thank you all so much. That is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Words cannot express. We have an anonymous donor and Michael Nelson coming in last minute, clutch. So thank you. Oh, and I think another one from John and Elizabeth. So thank you all so much.
Wow.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Love it.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for donating to our GoFundMe. I was not expecting that to happen at all.
I was not either.
We really appreciate it. Big money. You made it big. Thanks, Jules. We've made it.
Big money. Great.
Awesome. Yes. And obviously, our GoFundMe goal, we've reached it, but you can still buy our album on Bandcamp. Link in the YouTube description, and also soon to be posted literally everywhere for $6. Everything that you listen to tonight can be
and more.
$6.
2 extra songs. Oh my goodness.
Yes, if you purchase the Bandcamp album, there's 2 extra songs for you guys. Okay, so make sure it's only $6, you guys. And eventually, thank you so. Note about the GoFundMe, we will be using it for recording eventually our album, like in a professional studio when we're all together, when we're able to do that. And then we'll be able to release a version of this album that is just even better than it is currently.
Absolutely.
So that's it, folks. Thanks so much for everyone for staying behind and listening to us talk a little bit. It was so great to meet all of you. Great work, residents. Nicole Axelrod, Emma Nelson, and Serena, they're right here. Abigail Brodnick, I forget how to say her last name, I'm so sorry. Suzette Hartsfield, sorry guys.
Yep.
All of our members are putting in all the hard work for doing that. It's been a successful night. We'll see you guys later. Stay tuned to our Facebook page to see updates, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Goodbye,
Thank you
everyone.
for coming.
Guys.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you guys so much.